Kenneth, if you'll have a word of prayer.
Would you bow with me? Dear Father, thank you again for all the wonderful things you've done for us and our families. Father, thank you for allowing your son Jesus to come to this earth, to live the life he did, to set example for us. Thank you for allowing him to die for our sins and raising him from the dead, Father, to intervene on our behalf. Father, please be with us tonight. We have some very important decisions to make. Please give us a heart that's understanding. Let us listen intently to what we discussed tonight. And most of all, Father, let us choose to do what's right for the whole people of this county. Again, Father, thank you for your son Jesus, which in his name we pray.
First thing you see is approval of minutes of the last court meeting. Motion. Hello,
Can I get an agenda, please? I'm sorry.
He said make a motion.
motion on the minutes. Got a second? All in favor?
Yes.
Sue, you're up.
As you got in front of you, it's the unmined coal tax settlement. Everything come out to 0.
That's good. Motion, do we have to have a motion?
To accept it.
Motion to accept
Motion.
And my pay.
And pay.
it? Motion and second.
That'd be on the bill on it.
Is
That's
it?
on the bill.
Motion and second.
I'll make a motion.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
Fire department contract, Kenneth.
I asked the judge to put this on the agenda today. If you recall, we sold the property where the fire department is housed down in this fire department. We agreed to put that money in a fund to help pay for their new building they're going to build. I got a copy of their deed just recently, and the deed says that the grantor has a reversionary interest. That's fancy words for meaning that if it ceases to be a fire department, it goes back to the landowner. Not only Inez Fire Department's deed says that, the one for Warfield, the new tract, and the one up Pigeon Roost, all of them has a reversionary interest. That's common practice. There's nothing the matter with it, but I want to make sure. So Lynette and I contacted Rich Ornstein, KCO, and he said, yes, we could do that. But we need a contract, what I'm going to suggest to the court, have the fire department agree to pay us if they ever cease to be in existence for 18 years, so we can, you know, get any equipment they would have or anything else if it's no longer a fire department. I think that's fair. I think we could do it for an 18-year period where they would have to do it at least for 18 years. And I have this written down now, clerk, so I won't confuse everyone. And what that means is they would have to pay us if they cease to be a fire department. If they didn't have money, we could attach anything they own. And that's just to protect everybody. And at the end of the 18-year lease, if they wouldn't owe the county anything, if they quit prior to that year's lease, then they would pay the county so much a year for the years they did not do it for the complete 18 years. It's just to protect the county.
So you don't have that ready for them to vote on tonight?
Well, I wanted to tell them what it was and theirs, you know, so they could authorize me to do it. Then I
So you need a motion for them authorizing?
And let me tell you too, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Judge, but I talked to the fire department, they have no problem with that out.
Motion to proceed.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
We will have that contract done for the court.
Okay, garbage discussion. Guys, you know that back in July that we all understood come first of the year we got to make a decision on what we're going to do with the garbage or how we're going to pay for it. Candace and Lynette has been looking at all the options that we have, and there's a few options that we can do, and I think what we need to discuss tonight is how you want them to proceed on how you all want to do your garbage.
What you got?
Well, let me tell you, you know, there's several ways. You can do it. You can do a tax on real property up to 10 cents, KRS 109.056, tax levy. I don't know how the people, the county would like another tax put on them, but you could do that. Possibly you could do it through the occupational tax, I believe Kelly said we'd have to raise it at least, what, 0.5% more to cover the cost of the garbage. Or, believe it or not, what everybody else in the state of Kentucky's done, and probably in every city and communities and states I know of, they've done universal garbage, where that way, you know, you franchise it out. You ask every household to be involved. You franchise it out. The franchise person will provide, we can contract with them. You can set, like, ask for bids, what they would charge each household and business. They could be locked in for 2 years and renegotiate later. That way, the cost would be spread across everybody. It wouldn't be a burden on one person more than others. Because if you do an occupational tax, for example, 3 people's in a household, they're paying probably, if they just made $33,000 a year, for example, they're paying $1,000 occupational tax. If you raised it, they'd be paying $1,500, which in essence would be $500 a year for just them to do away with the garbage. Let's face it, that's what we're talking about, garbage.
Well, if they make 30,000, it'd be 300.
That's what I'm saying. Each one. No, I said 500. They'd be paying.
Oh, you're saying each person makes $30,000?
Yes, they would be paying that more. And that wouldn't be fair. You'd be putting a burden on a few people that's working.
Right.
And it's not going to get all the benefits. And the rest of the state, I don't know of anywhere else that's not done that. They've done garbage. Every household pays a certain amount. The county even gets back, if you do a franchise, the county gets a percentage. What is it, Kelly? I believe you said up to 6 or
6.25, I believe it is.
we would actually get money, and then the money you would save, the cost, that would be enough to cover the expense, probably 600,000. Is that not true? I don't know the figures.
Yeah, it's between 500 and 600, isn't it, Linda, for a garbage cost?
Okay, that would pay for it. Then you'd have that much money to use to benefit the county in other ways, to spend on other programs. That's the only way I know how to do it. And having said that, it's come to my attention, I got to bring this up, Kelly, about that contract. You know, Mike, our deputy judge, was called by, I guess his drivers first told him, Mike, you can correct me, that Green Valley told Mike's drivers that if they did not sign a contract with the fiscal court, they would not go take any more garbage. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Mike, they called Mike and the judge, and they told them the same thing. So Mike signed a contract. I believe it's up, was it up to 6 months, Mike? The ending
It
date?
ends June the 31st.
June the 31st, without the fiscal court approval. Now what that means is, Mike thought he's doing right. He's trying to save the county. If he hadn't done it, they was going to cut this county off. Now you all have a choice. I have a duty by law to tell you, you can either ratify that contract that he signed. That means you agree with it, and the county would continue to get to take their garbage down there like we're doing right now. But at the end of December, you'd have to come up with 6 more months' money somewhere to pay for it. Because if you recall, our budget just provides for coverage up to December 31st. Is that not right, Judge?
Yeah.
So you all would have to, I'm just giving you the options. If you don't ratify the contract, I have to notify this company that that contract, we deem it null and void. That means it has no legal effect. That would be our position if you don't ratify what Mike done. I'd have to write to him and say, we consider it null and void because he didn't have fiscal court approval. That would void the contract, possibly without going through a lawsuit, but they could refuse to take our garbage or charge you as an independent person rather than a municipal
Yeah.
customer.
It's the same contract we've been operating under for years.
Yes, and it's same, what Mike agreed to, the contract's same amount that what we paid for years, ain't it, Mike?
Yeah, it would have closed our dumps down.
And he did it for the benefit of the county. He did it for the people of this
So what do
county.
you want us to ratify, or do you want us to?
It's up to you. All I can tell you the options. If you ratify it, that means we can still do it with them. They'll still take our garbage. But you all got to come up with a way to pay for it after December because we don't have any money in the budget.
After December, the county won't be, you know, according to how they come up with it.
That's what I'm saying. Possibly,
If we franchise the garbage out, we don't have no garbage taken.
that's what I'm saying. Yet that would be the way to do it. You can franchise it, but you've got to make a decision one way or the other. You either got to ratify what he done and try to come up with a way to pay for it from December to January, or not ratify it, and I'd have to write them and say, look, we deem the contract null and void, and then we'd have to be trying to hustle a place to find to take your garbage, pay for it.
So
And
we
God knows what amount.
ratify that, then are we locked in to that June date?
Yes, unless you franchise it out and they agree to take it.
The contract
The contract.
has no tonnage in it. In other words, we're not bound by a tonnage. If we don't take them, if we take them 1 ton, we take them 100 tons. Or if we don't take them any, we don't own nothing.
But they're gonna cut us off.
I want to say something here. The contract is basically on their behalf.
Yes.
It's saying they will agree to take our garbage. And they said they can't operate with a municipality without having an agreement with them that they will take our garbage. We dealt with this for 2 or 3 months. I talked to Keenest about it for at least 2 months.
I'm gonna get a copy of the contract, right, and put it in the record.
I talked to Keenest about it for at least 2 months, and he said, well, we don't know what we're gonna do with the garbage, so just hold them off.
Well, I mean, my only question is, if we say, yeah, we ratify that contract, are we getting locked in that we have to pay them, you know, a
No, we
certain
don't have
amount?
to.
All we pay for is what we take.
That's all, I was just,
The way the contract is set up, if I remember correctly, it's $22.50 for something and then $1 something per ton. So it's about $25 per ton, but there is no tonnage minimum. So for every, if we take, 4 tons, $100.
if we don't take any,
If
we're
you
still
don't
not
take
responsible
any,
for paying.
it's,
Right.
there are X's in the point for about a minute, for the minimum. So you're only covering yourself basically until December, for as long as we have money to take care of that. And if the contract goes, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, until the end of June. So whenever our budget year starts up, that's whenever this contract will need to be renewed.
Well, let me, I don't quite understand then why we have this conversation now. Why don't we wait until
The contract needs to be ratified because it was signed, when Mike signed it to our benefit.
Well,
But
why can't we
the fiscal
ratify it
court
and
did
we'll
not
come
ratify
get,
the act.
either get rid of it or do something with it by the end of December?
My only
We'll still be in good compliance
We
with it.
get locked into that and then franchise it out and pay for 2.
If we don't take it down there.
That's
we
my only
don't-
question, that's
The
all.
way I
Yeah.
understand the contract.
Yeah, there's
we
no
don't take
tonnage
anything.
at all in the contract. It basically is saying they agree to
So
take
we
our
can
garbage for
ratify
this
it
much
and
money.
then
want to break.
Back in December
I
and do
would rather
something with the
wait
garbage.
till Keenest gets
So
back.
if we take them garbage, we pay for it.
If we take the garbage, we pay for it. If we don't, we don't owe them nothing.
Okay.
And Keenest is going to provide you a copy of that contract.
I have it up on the side again. And my next continue, if you don't ratify it.
If you want to give that to Rhonda to put in, you may want to pass it down. But as you guys can
Maybe we should have
see
dictate.
on the very front, I think you made lots of copies, didn't you?
I thought I had it.
On the front, you've got the per tons on it, and then they've got like the 0 for the tons, even if it's more out. So there's no minimum, like, so we don't
Well,
have to.
it seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean, if we don't take them up, we don't have to pay them.
Right.
So pretty much we had to sign this contract before.
Whatever they cut us off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they cut us
Yeah,
off.
we
Yeah, so.
And if
it's
they
keep
cut you
the
off,
same
you're
as
not in
always was.
compliance, the state can come in and force you to come up with a way to pay for a garbage disposal.
I'm saying, we've done this before in the past years, right?
Yes, but here's the problem this year, Larry. Your budget don't have enough money to cover it except for December.
Yeah,
Then
I understand that,
December.
but what you're talking about now is for the landfill part of it, right?
That's what I'm saying. You have enough money to pay for it to December.
Yeah.
This contract says it's till July the 1st. So
But
you'd have to come.
I don't guess we're catching Keenest where,
I'm saying if you don't franchise it out.
Am I misunderstanding that we vote for ratify this, and then later on, if they want to franchise out, they can, or if they come up with, keep it the same as it is, they can? Or if they don't take them anything, or take them a lot? They don't
Yes,
take anything.
what this will do is keep you in compliance, they will take it out.
Okay, that's what.
Well, I make the motion, we ratify what Matt signed.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Now, which way do you want our attorneys to go on our garbage? How y'all want to do it?
That's what we need to talk about between now and December.
I think you need to do it.
Well, like I expressed before myself, I feel like, you know, if a household generates garbage, you know, then they should pay for that garbage. Each household should be responsible for their own garbage. Now, how we do that, I don't know.
Well,
But I know some people's talked about, you know, paying a fee and leaving it like it is. My opinion with that is, you know, if people want to pay a fee, then they want to see a service for that fee. I mean, that's just my opinion, because what you'd be doing, you'd be paying the fee and then paying for the fuel and the aggravation and the time to take your garbage to the dumpster, and you're paying the fee. When you can pay a fee and you have somebody come to your house and pick it up, in my opinion, that would be, you know, if I was paying $15 for something, you know, I'd like to see something in return. Somebody come to my doorstep picking it up. And like Keenan's talked about, you know, we negotiate the contract with whoever, Apple Valley or whoever it might be, and, you know, we keep the transfer stations open. See, the transfer stations doesn't close. We have the right to keep those open, and anyone that wants to take their garbage to the transfer station, of course, it would be an additional fee. They would charge by the yardage or by the tonnage or whatever, and that's the way they do it in Johnson County.
You set that out in their specifications.
They set that out, and that's the way they do it in Johnson County and some other counties. You know, if you would have a load of garbage, a truckload that you need to take, if you cleaned your garage out or whatever, you can still take it to the transfer station. The transfer station, you know, won't be closed. We negotiate the contract with whoever it is to keep the transfer stations open, so that if someone wants to go down and dump their garbage, then they can charge them a small fee for dumping the garbage. If they have something they need to get rid of, like they're cleaning out an outbuilding, or if someone...
Every way that we have looked at it, what you're talking about is the cheapest for the citizens.
The cheapest route.
Cheapest way.
And we've asked, I don't know how many different counties, and they said that's the only way. And think, you know, I guess you're maybe just thinking about, well, you're placing a burden on the people. But guess what? You're not really placing a burden if you consider that $600,000 that you're spending now, you're taking away from the citizens of the county by just spending it on garbage, where that money could be used for other services for the people in this county.
Well, not necessarily, because we don't have the $600,000 to spend on other services.
Yeah, I'm talking about, that's what you've done in the past, though, look what you've done.
That's the thing, is we've lost, you know, we've lost that out of our
You don't have
budget.
the...
We don't have that $600,000.
But
We don't have it
that's
for
what-
other services, and we don't have it for garbage either.
Well, you're gonna
I mean,
have
that
to do
money's
one or the other.
gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that right or wrong? That money is
Well, let me
basically
tell
gone.
you, let me tell you, you tell me if it's gone. We were generally getting 190 to 225 cost average a quarter. Our last two checks, one was 85, one was 86.
And let me tell you,
Gone.
Yeah.
the people in this
Gone.
county should be considered to be very fortunate. Since I've been back here, this county's, the people's not had to pay one penny have they for trash pickup. That's correct. And you all be commended. You know, it's not nobody's fault. It's the state says we have to do it. It's your all's decision. How do you do it? What's the fairest and what's the least expensive way to do it?
Fair and cheap.
Yes, that's it.
That's what we
And
do.
the only way everybody, you know, be truthful with you, they even asked you, said, you mean you don't have the pickup in your county? And I said, no. But that's the only way.
Well, I mean, I see,
You know, the
I
cheapest-
see a few problems with leaving it as it is and charging everybody $15. You know, you don't solve the problem with Johnson County, Lawrence County,
No,
come over here and dump it. You don't solve the problem with West Virginia over in the Warfield side dumping. You keep, the biggest issue, in my opinion, is you keep politics involved in it.
That's it. And I'm gonna tell you something
When you
else.
franchise it out, you correct those two problems, you take politics out of it,
Yes.
and
And
it
who's
can
gonna really,
function.
who's gonna take it and throw it somewhere 10 miles away when you have to pay for it and get it picked up to your house? They said it's actually cleaned up their neighborhoods, you know, we're doing this way.
Take
Also, we
politics
just
out
Rich
of it.
Ornstein, and he had reservations
You know,
about
they said
Kelly,
every year,
whether or not we could just charge
$5-10
a
a
fee.
year.
We
Johnson
still
County
negotiate the
Fiscal Court
contract.
has,
The right to raise, but if we franchise this out to somebody, they can raise it anytime they
well,
want.
they've got the right to keep them from raising.
No, the county
They cannot.
controls that.
You
They
have a
can't do that.
contract.
No,
The
you have a
county
contract.
controls the rate, they have to go before the
Fiscal court.
commissioners over there, they got commissioners.
And they would have to come from the fiscal
Well,
court.
how are you gonna explain this B&O tax they put on the people where it was for the garbage?
It was for
Well, where's that
several
money
things,
at? I
and
mean,
it
who's
was
gonna
great.
explain
That's
that
what,
to them?
And
that's
a lot
what I'm
of
saying.
people
The
think
county
that's
didn't
bad
have
for
to
the
pay for a
garbage.
lot of services,
I mean,
John, but we don't have the money no more.
The county judge just said they've lost
Yes, you know.
hundreds of
it's
thousands of
nobody's
dollars in
fault.
cost savings.
Not from the B&O tax, we ain't lost a nickel.
Yeah, but when you prop up a budget with cost
Yeah,
savings
yeah.
money.
We actually
it's-
had money, but
But the
that's what
B&O
happened.
tax was specifically for garbage. So what's the
Well, now, we
money?
can do that, John, we switched to B&O tax to things people could see, actually, that we were doing for them. We put all our services in there that we, now, that's a way you can do it. I can cut everything out of occupational tax and make it for garbage, and everybody will move on.
I thought
If that's what you all want to do.
I thought that's the way they voted in. I
No,
wasn't here.
no, that's the way it is.
That one guy was standing here, he.
But we have taken a hit on the occupational
That's
tax
pretty
as
much what he
well.
said, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, these mines shut down, and those people aren't working,
Yes.
they're
They're
not
not
paying
paying.
the occupational tax.
Well, we lost 130,000 when that cell shut down.
Right,
Here.
just for that mine. And we only have
But
one mine now
Now,
operating in
that's
the
what
county.
we're here for.
You tell us.
Whatever the majority here says, if you, this majority says for me to take the occupational tax, pay for garbage, and you all make a motion and say, that's what I'll do.
But what services would you have to cut?
Well, all you gotta do is get the occupational tax budget and look at it. It don't take a rocket science.
You presented that once before, didn't you, one with it or without it?
We had that discussion in June.
We went through that, I believe.
That's pretty well everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, can anybody in here tell me how much we get a year on occupational tax?
Got a
Can
million.
anybody?
Got a million.
Well, it's about
We do-
1.2, something like that.
What are we doing with it, Don? What's in the occupational tax budget?
The parks right now, sanitation, all the fire departments, senior citizens, the community center allotment.
Pretty much everything we,
Utilities for parks,
I think
sanitation,
expenses, you know, be
fuels.
self-sufficient.
pretty much everything that was in LGEA moved over to occupational tax this year.
but now that's what we're here for tonight. We're gonna have another meeting the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And it's gonna give Lynette and King time to work on whatever you all tell us to
You
do.
tell us.
King, a cost versus, you know, I've looked at my head a little bit, but if you put it on the business and occupational tax, like I say, I'm gonna wind up paying $500-600 a year more, myself. If you put it on my land tax, I'm gonna be paying close to $350-400 a year. But if I pay, even if I paid $20 to a universal franchise, that's gonna put me at $240 a year versus
That'll be
those
the
other
cheapest
expenses
price.
on me.
Not only is they put it on occupational tax, what about people that don't work?
Well, I understand it, but a lot of people.
Well, I can use my poor old mommy again for that example.
A lot of people.
If you put it on the occupational tax, my mom won't have to pay a dime,
There you
But
go.
I understand
just
it.
like everybody else that don't work.
You're
And it's just, to me, it's not fair.
looking at a lot of
If you
people.
generate
on
garbage,
incomes.
you should pay for your garbage. I mean, that's just my, my personal opinion.
Well, we did, when we voted the occupational tax, and I was here, and we did say then that a big reason we voted in was to help take care of the garbage. Because there's a lot of people was concerned about having to pay a monthly fee, you know.
I agree, and it's done for what?
And it's done that for a long
12
time.
years.
But, you know, but I don't think it's fair. What we're saying now is keep the occupational tax for everything else, but we let the garbage go, you know. And I just don't think that's fair, that's fair to people. And that's just my opinion, you know what? I'm just one person, but, you know. But that was a big reason when we voted. I mean, I was the one who passed it. If I hadn't voted for it, it wasn't passed. And when I voted to pass it, that was one of the big reasons I did, because I thought it helped the people as a whole, where everybody was going to have to end up paying a big garbage truck, you know. Now we're saying we'll take it, make everybody pay for the garbage, but we leave occupational tax for everything else. You know, I know it's less, the occupational tax is less, but it's not that much less than what it was.
So do you want to, reason that we had so much co-service there,
I know we did.
but now when we passed it, we were at co-service like we was now. Now, you know, co-service went up, for many years we lived good.
Right, I know that.
And now it's back to lower than what it was when I first come back in here. Now,
You was there, you know,
I know.
we were both in the same boat.
but you know, times has changed but now listen, we're here for you all to tell me what to do.
And let me tell you something else too. If things pick up, you don't have to franchise it out there. You have a contract, number of years.
And Victor said you leave the transfer stations open, but now when they talked about doing it before, they said they'd leave one transfer station open.
Central located account.
Central located account, just one, and then, so if you had to take garbage, you had to take it, 15 miles instead of.
Or they can pick it up and
Instead of
charge
2
a rate, I believe what Johnson County does.
I'm not sure about that.
I think Johnson County, yeah, they pick it, I believe they charge it.
Johnson County has one transfer station.
Yes.
But
And
do they charge them,
three
I'm
times
sorry,
big
go
as
ahead.
us.
Do they charge them additional money, like they come pick the garbage up, charge them $20, then you take a truckload of junk off to demolish your house?
It's
They
way.
weigh in and then weigh you out, you pay again?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That's not waste from your home, that's other calculation.
What makes us any different than any other county in the state?
And another thing too that concerns me is the amount of garbage. Some says that they only take like 2 bags a week. A lot of people generate a lot more than
You
that.
addressed that, I think, what was it? I think you heard 2 bags, you addressed that, and when you asked for a franchise, you put in that, how many bags you want to take out of the week.
My girlfriend lives in Johnson County. They haul off a heaping trash can from her house every week. 5, 6, 7 bags.
That's what I.
And she
I
pays,
think it's pounds.
she
probably
pays, she
they
pays
pound
$15 a month. And every Monday they come and get it.
And another question I got, like we use, I don't know, one of your haulers, annual creek.
Yeah.
Do they go up the main hauler, or do they lead off to the little haulers, like this guy lives back on top of the hill, they're gonna go back there and get his garbage? Or are you gonna pack down to the road? Yeah, that's what worries me, I don't know, if you do that, people may destroy it, pour it down there, or.
When we discussed it,
Hauling it down to the
Years
road's a
ago.
lot shorter distance than going to the dump.
When we talked about this when I was mayor, way back then, the waste management walked in, they said there was no way on earth that they could do that back 15 years ago, I guess.
gas, diesel was $1.50 a gallon.
Yeah, and they said that, gas was cheap, and they said there was no way on earth that they could do it under $25 a household.
And for every person that didn't pay, the price would go up.
Yeah.
You can
That's
ask
exactly
for a
what it is.
franchise, you don't have to accept it, you can ask people to do it on franchise. And you know that.
How do you want to proceed, boys? Just let me know.
Have you looked at, some way or another for us keeping the transfer, for us keeping the garbage in charge?
We talked about putting on the water bills, yeah.
Here's what, we asked Rich Ornstein about the fee. Here's what he said, and I want to make sure. I tried to get a hold of you, this is addressed to me and Lynette. We contacted you, he said, I tried to get a hold of you in Keenest a few moments ago, was unable to reach you. I have some concerns on whether or not you can impose a fee under KRS 109.0562. It appears that you may be able to do a tax, and that was the tax I was telling you about, 10% per 100 on real property. But I have doubts about imposing a fee based upon the following language in subsection 2 of that statute, to be collected from all persons receiving services. The limited language is not in subsection 1. How would Martin County know who utilizes the transfer station Therefore, how you know they're getting services rendered for the month, they're paying for the fees being charged.
And
Well,
the way I
until you don't solve the Johnson County and
I
Martin
understand,
County
but I'm
and
just
West
telling you, even
Virginia,
if you impose the fee, he says he has reservations about doing it, and I'd like to put that in the record. You know, we're trying to help, Bruce. I understand, let me tell you, I admire what you all have done, guys. This county's not had to pay a penny for garbage. So think about that, for years.
That 10%, that's like if, say, one guy owns
It's on everybody.
70 pieces of property versus one guy that owns one piece of property. The guy that owns $600,000 worth of property versus the guy that owns
What you're
$10,000.
not getting there, you keep saying that 10% mark, it won't take care of it.
No, Kelly said that won't generate enough money. Did you?
Our rate's 12%, we get about
Yeah.
$500,000 in the,
Yeah.
That wouldn't even pay it, Joe, if we did a 10% tax.
take care of it.
The
Of course,
10%.
then you're gonna raise everybody's property tax again. Wait till they get to take the property tax bill this year and see what the school board does.
You know,
Yeah.
this court can help what the state mandates. And you've all been put in a tough position. I appreciate y'all, what you've done, Darrell. You did, I was with you when the occupation tax. We don't have the money, then you gotta come up with money some way. What's the cheapest and fairest, what I believe. You know, I don't care, if you tell me how to do it, me and Lynette will do it. We're trying to tell you how to help you the best way we know how. But it's your all's call. I don't vote, I wish I did, but I don't. And you all are in a tough position, you know, but we gotta make a decision. You all tell us how you want it, if it's legal, we'll do it. I don't know what more to say.
I just think if people are going to pay, they want to see a service provided.
Well, we're preaching to the choir
That's
here,
what,
but I
that's
don't
what
vote.
I think, and I think that would be the fairest, you know, as long as we can negotiate the contract and we, you know, we have a say in what's charged, and as far as the transfer station staying open, and I think that would be, you know, part of the negotiation. I know it is in
Let's see,
other
if you put
counties
it
that's
in
around
the
us.
specifications, what you want.
That's part of the
about the franchise.
negotiations. You negotiate those things.
Last two times, Pepper told me they turned them down on raising the
I
rate.
spoke to one of the magistrates. They said they come before them twice and they turn them down. They're still picking it up.
I think, what is it, 1275?
And then what they come in and say, well, we're gonna turn you down, we ain't gonna take your garbage till you come across with giving us what we want, then we're stuck again. 'Cause we're gonna have to say, okay, we'll raise it from $15 to $20. As long as it's in them two hands, they can control us now.
No,
I'm telling you.
you have them for like 2 years.
Yeah, and then when the 2 years is up, they
You
say,
can
well, we
ask
ain't
for a
gonna do it.
franchise again if they don't advertise it out somebody else.
I'm sure you can set the contract, they need to come before you to renew a certain
That's what
period.
they have to do. That's
Give
what they
yourself
have
a
to
grace period so you can rebid it out if something goes awry.
What's Apple Valley been in paint for 25 years? They've had that franchise for 25 years over there.
Hope they keep another 25.
So they actually they do the commercial here in Martin County as well. They do all the commercial.
Yeah, they're in here right now.
Grease traps, Rite Aids, dollar stores, the schools, any commercial they do right now. So they're already here in
Getting paid
Martin
good for
County.
coming
It would
over.
basically, if they didn't get the contract, they would lose money. Because they would have, you know, once you franchise it, whoever you franchise it with, and there's no other carriers can come in and you know, take business from the person you franchise with.
What do I do, guys? Tell me how you want me to proceed, and we will.
Let's start working on it.
How you wanna go? Where we go there?
They just want me. They're just wanting me.
So, Judge, tell us what happens if we don't do anything tonight. I mean, what happens on January 1st?
Well, I thought he said we.
They quit taking the garbage.
Thanksgiving.
If we don't pay them, they just,
Now, he's wanting us to have some kind of ordinance in place.
We gotta get started. If we do an ordinance, take 2 minutes.
Just tell them exactly what's gonna happen if we don't by the end of it.
Well, state won't allow us. That's a mandate on us. We gotta do something. State won't allow us. State'll come in and say, here's what y'all gonna do, and then y'all won't have no say so.
And probably make it twice as hard on everybody.
No, well, about twice as hard, but it may cost twice as much. But, that's what they'll do. I mean, that's why that I would like to keep that from happening. And you all tell me the way you want to go, and that's the way I'll go. I'm not going to argue with you guys. I think the best for the citizens is, everything I've looked at is franchise it out to one hauler. And that's the cheapest for the citizens. If you put $15.25 on their water bill, people that already pay $20 a month, be paying $35.50. People that's paying somebody come pick it up now, they're gonna
Pay twice.
Gonna pay twice.
You still got West Virginia people that's come over here and done it.
Still got West Virginia
You still
people.
got Lawrence and Johnson County come over here and done it. It's not solving the problem.
That guy told me and Mike that he said people come into his transfer station in Johnson County and say, well, that'll be so much. He said, well, I'll just drive with Martin County. They just take it for free.
So, I mean, being fair is to eliminate those two problems. I mean, you know, people don't want to pay and then see somebody from West Virginia driving over here and dumping their garbage out, or from Johnson or Lawrence, which is just a bigger problem over here, but it's not as easier to see because the license plates are the same.
You take.
It's easier at Warfield because you still, and it's a big
But
problem.
let me tell you what you could do. You could tell us, say, well, we want the occupational tax budget. We cut everything out of the occupational tax budget, and that's going to include the fire department. Now, just as soon as you cut the fire departments out, Warfield's 6, 9 is at 7. That's going to raise everybody's rate. I can only use the one I can remember. It's the First Baptist Church down there. It saved them $1,500 a year when 9 is with 9 to 7. Now they go back to a 9 and possibly a 10, and 10 is no fire protection, and you probably can't buy insurance. That's going to cost that church, their insurance is going to go up another $1,500. So you're going to pay some sort down the road. Ain't nothing free.
We've done paid the fire department, ain't we, up to next year?
No.
I thought we did.
We're only halfway in our budget. We pay them every month.
Well, but we allotted the amount that we always gave them on them. So it's there.
Half of it is. But if you all want us to do that, we can only pay them half of what we said we'd give them, because the other half will go pay for garbage.
But actually, we get nothing because they've already got half at this point in time.
No, they got half
From this
yet.
point on, though.
They'll get half. But from the point on, they'll lose the other half of our budget. And then, we said if we could find enough money to cut it all out there, then we'll start next year and try to make a budget.
Gentlemen, have you asked around what other counties are doing? I think the rest of the states do this. Sometimes you see a signal, you can follow other people's leads. And, if the other counties in the whole state, even some counties smaller than us have done it, it's a pretty good sign that it's pretty fair. I don't know what else to do. I don't care how you do it. My job is to try to help you to arrive at a legal way to do what you want. But, it's a decision you got to make. I don't think you can sit here and not do nothing. And I'm not trying to be smart. I appreciate what you've done. I believe that, Bob Martin. It's been an honor working with you. But, we don't have the money that we did before. And you've heard your options. The only fair thing is that, like the rest of the state, the rest of the cities, they oppose that where they keep a low rate for everyone. And when you do your franchise, you can put in for a number of years. Now, they've got to come back. You can put in to negotiate. Before they get a raise, they've got to come back to you, this court. Seriously, you can do it.
I know they gotta come back to renew the contract.
Okay.
But
You
if
tell
they
them
walk in and
want
say we ain't
to
gonna do it, then the
You
same
hear
people.
Johnson County just had it. They've been turned down twice by their judge at the fiscal court.
So, what y'all want to do? Gary, what you want? You ain't said nothing. Glenn, you ain't said nothing.
I'm worried about the people who can't afford to pay for it, how they gonna pay, you know, somebody living on $600-700 a month, how they gonna pay for it?
Let me tell you what, Johnson County, I believe, done their franchise agreement. If they had under $1,000, what was it, Kelly, they got a break, I believe they just had to pay a smaller amount. You can negotiate that.
You take
Everything's
that same
negotiable.
person on fixed income and they got fire insurance, and then the fire insurance triples. How
That's
they
about
pay that?
everything, or the property tax.
And most of them, Kelly, it's from, you know, a low amount like that, probably ain't got no fire insurance. I mean, I don't know that, but just guessing.
So what you're all saying is you want me to do is cut everything out of occupational tax, let the occupational tax pay for cars. That way you want it?
That's not what I'm saying, Judge. I don't think that would be the best route, in my opinion. You know,
Not
I'm
only-
just one person.
How much is it going to be a year?
Between
600?
500 and 600,000.
500,000-600,000. We get $1 million in B&O tax,
Yeah.
okay? We give each fire department 15,000 a year, so that's 30,000. Give the community center, which I don't think we should give them nothing. We give them $70,000 a year.
You have to look at our budget, John.
Well,
See,
I don't see, seem me like we should have money left for the garbage.
Linda, can you explain that to them?
Well, the amount that your budget has been cut is equal to the amount that garbage costs. The things that were in LGEA before, the required services were moved to the occupational tax to keep the services going, including garbage in this budget. You also have to consider that in that occupational budget, you have your 911 services. I'm trying to figure out, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how you're going to continue your 911 services.
That's about 120, 30,000 a year.
No, it's more than that. Your dispatches are roughly 110
Yeah.
without fringes.
Kind of fringes.
Fringes, their health insurance, it's not what you consider fringe benefits. It's their health insurance and the employer's required matching,
Social
Medicare
Security,
and Social
Medicare.
Security. It's not, that it's not any surplus type of fringe benefit.
It's not vacation time or anything like that.
No, it's mandated. If you pay payroll, you have to match your Social Security and Medicare
Yeah, and you have to pay the retirement.
and retirement.
And retirement's around 15% for us and 5% for the employee. So there's a lot of services in there then.
Your fire departments, your 911 service, your dog warden, and the kennel services, your parks, your community center,
So
what's
could
left
we-
basically in LGEA is other mandates.
What would you have to cut out just to pay for the garbage?
I don't have a I wish if I'd known it, I would have brought a budget. I just brought a year-to-date through October expenditures.
So it's safe to say you'd better have to cut everything out.
For the rest of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask
Well,
you
with
this.
each area, there are also expenses that come with that. For instance, when you say sanitation, it's not just that, it's sanitation utilities. If they have a problem at the dump, it's hiring somebody to come and repair it. Parks, utilities, phone bills associated with things. When you do insurances, utility bills, fuels, you can't believe how that adds
Now,
up.
is all of sanitation in occupational or just the tipping fees?
No, it's the entire expense.
By expense?
Your, your laborers, your transportation of it. Here's another big thing is your liability insurance. And we understand that if it stays in the budget, your liability insurance is going to increase exponentially.
Let me make something clear while ago, Kelly. I don't want anybody to misunderstand. the contract says if we take garbage there, we have to pay. You know, of course, what Kelly said was true. If we don't take our garbage there, we don't owe them. But I don't know what we're going to do with the garbage.
Well, I don't know, I think Apple Valley takes their garbage down there anyway.
That's what, I believe, Mike, you told us that today. Didn't Apple Valley say they take their garbage down there?
Yep.
You know, it's a hard decision, and you know, but we gotta do something. And we're willing to help you anyway. You pick the way that you want us to go, the avenue, and we'll try to, you know, work to do it.
I personally think we should franchise it out. That's just my personal opinion. Garbage is the issue, and it's a problem, and we need to get out of the garbage business.
Well, it's a matter, if you want to stay in the garbage business and cut most of our non-mandate services. Now, that's the way, no matter how you shake it out, that's how it comes. Now, all of our non-mandate services, the state can care less if we have a non-mandate service we pay for. All they work out is the mandate service. Now, if you say you don't want the people to pay $15 to $18 a month for garbage, and then you cut your fire departments out, you cut your parks out, I mean, that's up to you. I mean, when you cut your fire department down, if they lose their ISO rating, they're going to be paying more than $18 a month.
Not only that, I don't think it's just a matter of insurance rates going up either. You cut your fire departments out, more than likely, they would have to close. We live paycheck to paycheck, just like most people do. And more than likely, your fire department's going to close. So what happens then?
They get paid?
Huh?
I thought they was all volunteer.
We are volunteer. I'm saying our budget is quarter to quarter. When we get
what we give the fire department for that budget, gives them enough money to keep the doors open.
right, we are volunteer. None of us get paid. I'm saying to pay the fire department's bills. You know, we live quarter to quarter. Fire department's closed
We're going
down.
to take all that money, we're giving the fire department, build one centralized fire department on top of Buck Creek Mountain.
Then you're talking about much longer response times to anything that happens on
You
either
can't tell
side.
me that you can't get from top of Buck Creek Mountain to Pigeon Roost as quick as you can from Warfield.
I can get to Pigeon Roost a lot quicker from Moorfield than I can the top of Buck Creek Hill.
I don't see that.
Well, you got to think Buck Creek Hill's several miles outside of Warfield. If you're already in Warfield, you can get to Pigeon Roost a lot quicker.
You
But
got
it's
off the
also-
hill, you're in Pigeon Roost on this side, on
it's
the other
based-
side.
Yeah, but then you
based-
got to go up 2032
It's
Hill.
based on mileage away from the fire department. That's what sets the fire rate.
And it's
Right.
5 miles
It's not,
radius.
it's not just having one big fire department. What sets it is the distance or the closeness that you live to that fire
Right,
department
if you had
or
one
that fire
centrally
hydrant.
located, it would take a 3-mile radius from that
It's a
fire
3-mile
department to
radius, and then
5
so
miles.
anyone outside that radius then,
Would pay more, the
Would
rate
pay
would
more.
increase. Go up.
so that's how that's decided.
People can quit having to burn their houses, all I know, until.
Well, I mean, it's not only about burning houses. What if you have a disaster like a flood or a tornado?
We got
You ain't got no fire
We
department.
got DST, we got DES, man, over.
Who you think he depends on?
Volunteers.
Volunteer fire departments.
Well, boys, regardless of the fact, we gotta do something, so what's it gonna be? Let me know.
Well, I make a motion, we look at franchising.
Got a motion, got a second? I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed?
No.
I have a motion, what about a motion to cut everything out of occupational tax and let the occupational tax pay for garbage?
I'm not for that either.
Well, make that motion. You gotta be for something.
No, no, I don't. I'm for it, but I'm not taking everything
Well,
out.
what are you for?
We may have to take some out, but I'm not for that either if we don't have to, but you know, something's, I know something's going to give, but we need to look at the budget and look at every item and see what we can work on. That's what I think, but you know, it's, like I said, I just don't want to vote.
Mac, have you talked to John Book lately?
Yep,
What's his comment?
they're trying to raise money to rebuild the plane.
Gonna tear it down and rebuild it if they raise the money.
So it's gonna be another 12 years.
We've been waiting
Not
on
for
it.
me.
Well, at least they have somebody working up there.
We'll still be waiting on it.
Well, it's
Do
been
what
12
now?
years.
So
and
they'll
it's
have
not-
somebody up there working then, if they gotta do it for another 12 years, they'll work somebody.
Now, that's what they said, John, they said that they was, they figured out what all they need to do, and they was trying to get investors.
$33 million.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were gonna blow a big shot.
Something about him
Then
trying
right
to.
after that highlight, he come down to the office, him and the big old board, major.
If y'all have any more questions for me, I gotta go to a jail board meeting.
Good luck, bud.
And I said, "But you told
As long as you don't end up inside,
You're on
Huh?
that, but
as
you
long as you don't
not."
end up inside the jail.
Yeah.
Well, things change.
Thanks, Mike, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
See you. Good luck.
Hmm? I say that's what he looked for, but I don't know. We're gonna
But
be.
really,
back-
I mean, we still don't really know if they're gonna be in the garbage business or the technology business.
we don't-
Evidently, there ain't gonna be no kind of business.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be no kind of business.
That's what it sounds like, but, you know.
Gentlemen, let's get it.
Well, RST would have been a thing that I really thought about, and now they would be up for it, until they come to see us in October. You know, and that would have lessened the burden a whole lot, about $160,000 a year. But they're
If they were actually going to take household garbage, I mean, they might not even take household garbage.
That's very true.
It may just be a technology, they may invite people in here, say, look what we can do, and you can buy this.
Well, let me give you a.
If that's the
for
case, it
example.
wouldn't help us any.
I was up at the airport one day, and this was back August, September. John and the big May guy, I was up there with some people from South Carolina, showing them the thing. So, basically what they've done, they partied up the day before, left it running for people, and then they shut it down. So basically, get people in there to look at it. They wouldn't even take our garbage
Right.
to start it up with.
So they're looking to sell the technology.
So they're looking to sell that. I really don't think they'll ever, to this court here, I know, and the next court, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be a part of our picture. But, back to business at hand.
We had to December when you
I
run.
agree with that. I think we have another meeting this week and give us a chance to go and see what, if we can make some cuts. And come back next week.
Well, we can do that. We've had 6 months to do it. We can do that.
I mean, I can be every day, every day.
Do what, Gary?
I can be meeting every day.
Don't do you no good more if you don't say something.
Hey, listen, what's the use of me if we can get to argue with you guys and then we get mad?
There you go.
So I'm gonna sit here and.
You'd have to hurt one of us, wouldn't you, Gary?
You better skip over me.
No, I ain't. So think about it.
I'm gonna bring mine next time, so you careful.
So, what you're telling me now is you want Linda to look at the budget and the occupational tax and see what services you want to try to keep.
Keep them off again.
That's not an option. We all know that. When I come in here, when we pass the occupational tax, guys, we can co-severance. When I got that check in January, and it was $90,000. Now, grant you, it was $90,000 for 4, 5, 40, but it started going up, and I think the highest one was 225. Now, we're in worse shape than it was 12 years ago, because it was 85,000 and 86,000.
Judge, also, you know, it wasn't only about that, we were also, I think, $268,000 in the red at that point
No,
in
we
time.
were more than that.
About $600,000.
It was about $500,000 in red,
In the
and
red.
$500,000, you know, when they had done their budget, they had overestimated everything. And we was $500,000 short on that, over $500,000 in bills that we owed. And that puts us
I mean,
over.
we couldn't get tires, we couldn't get fuel, we couldn't get parts, we couldn't get nothing. So it wasn't just about, you know, the garbage, it was also about,
You all
being
remember,
there.
John wasn't with us, Gary wasn't with us, when we would meet before, we was one of the only courts able to meet before we took office. You remember that, Joe? You was the only one manager. We met 5 or 6 times after Thanksgiving. We'd have Franklin Fletcher come in there, and I asked Franklin, I said, can I lay 35 off of me? And he said, no, you gotta lay everybody off. We laid a bunch off, if you remember. And then, come about spring, we laid everybody off. We're gonna be in the same shape. So, however you first want to do it, listen, I'm for you.
Let me tell you, you need to let us know something, because, you know, the process, no matter how you do it, it's gonna take some time, Tim. No matter what kind of ordinance you put in. You may want to keep that in mind. And remember, this is the middle of November.
They're not, I don't know, I don't know what to tell you, Keith, because we're not gonna do nothing.
Well, they have to do
Well,
something.
John mentioned something about having a working session this week or next week. KCO is Wednesday, and I think most of the employees are going to KCO, is that not right?
Yep.
So we could meet Friday, that's tomorrow. I don't think you and I have court on Monday, that's a possibility. Tuesday,
I'll
on
take
I
off.
can't be here Monday or Tuesday.
Can you be here
And then
tomorrow?
Keiko, I could be here tomorrow.
Can anybody else be here tomorrow?
Can we do something in the morning, like at 9 o'clock, Linda, before you go to the store?
Yeah, I won't have much time to research in advance, but
What about
Maybe if
next-
we just brought the budget.
What
Let me
about
tell you
Friday?
what Mr. Weinstein said, he would even get people to help us.
What about Friday of the week? Not this Friday, but the following Friday.
Then you've got KCO, and then the week after that's the short
Well,
Thanksgiving.
we'll be back Friday, probably.
Will you be back Friday?
Kill it.
Yeah, no.
It's Friday evening.
Friday evening.
I think
Friday
Friday
evening.
You
1
all,
or
you
something.
boys would feel like working
Friday
Friday
evening.
evening after you
I'm
got
not
back
hard
from
working man.
what I'm saying is you're more than welcome to 9 o'clock. If at all possible, I would like for it to be at the office because I need computers and all kinds of work. I can't give you exact answers without some questions posed and run some numbers.
Could
It's
we,
gonna take a while. I guess next week, what, Friday would be the earliest?
I
After
think she's
we
saying
come back.
I'll be here
tomorrow.
Friday.
9 o'clock in the morning?
What I'm saying is I
Friday
can
this
give-
week or Friday next week?
Next
She's
week.
saying this week.
I won't be back.
What time we go to
Next
take
week.
up Tuesday?
What I'm
Pick up
saying
back on
is,
Wednesday.
She can't have it done.
I
Well,
can
why
meet
can't we
at
have it
9
Tuesday?
o'clock in the morning. I can't do advanced research, of course, because we're not setting this meeting till now. But I would have computers at our convenience to try to answer your questions. But you'd have to pose your questions, and then I would have to run numbers.
Well, we don't, Kelly said we don't have to leave for Keiko till Tuesday, or Wednesday. Just Wednesday, so we can meet Tuesday here.
I've got court, I can meet in the afternoon, and I have,
I
how
can
many,
do in the
60 or
morning.
70
I
cases
could
that
morning, but I
day.
bet you might be asking.
We can meet Monday, can't we?
Yeah,
Victor
I'll
won't
be
be
here.
here.
I won't be able to be here
Victor just said he
Monday
can't do
or
Monday.
Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. I mean, if you guys want to meet,
And you got
We're welcome to go ahead and
vacation
meet.
days you can use.
I'll be out of town. Like I said, you guys can go ahead and meet. I mean, that's.
Why not tomorrow evening?
10
Would
to
that be good?
17. Well, the 24th, what's people
What
got to do
about
that?
tomorrow
day?
evening,
All week, I'll be
guys?
gone all
Huh?
week.
Tomorrow evening.
What time?
You pick it, we'll be there, I don't care.
4 for 15.
whatever's convenient.
415, she said.
Well, what we do about notice, if we're all gonna be up there,
When is this in?
we can't have a meeting with all of us up there unless we get 24-hour notice.
Exactly. When can she?
Just carry this meeting over till tomorrow
Let
evening.
me ask you something, I know
Take
it may be an
a
imposition.
18-hour
How about
recess.
let's be Saturday? Let's give her more time, we could be here Saturday.
Yeah, well, we mean.
That way you wouldn't have to worry about your notice requirement, if I be here Saturday, pick a time, we'll be here. That would help Linda.
Here.
He can call it,
I
can't
apologize, I didn't know.
he can call a recess for 20 hours if he wants to, and we can convene again tomorrow evening at 4:30.
I don't care, I'll meet anytime, I don't care. I'm just trying to see when Linda and everybody will be here. I don't care, I'll be here anytime.
Me too.
Or if you tell me what questions you want to pose, I can go back and run the numbers and bring them back to you.
If I got a quarter.
I got to get back to the 5 o'clock on Tuesday. And I got a funeral on Saturday, 4 o'clock, I have to be in.
He can't be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Do
Thursday. Come back, yeah, you're not gonna be here next Friday.
The problem here is, God, it's a moot point, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Y'all not gonna vote on what it's gonna take to keep it. You're not gonna vote to franchise it. So I say, let's just throw our hands up, let state come in and do it for us. That's what I say. Because there ain't nobody, to anybody that, is my vote is no to cut any services that we do. I think Victor's is no. I don't think that we should go through all this because none of y'all sitting in that line.
Well, now, if he vote no to not to cut no services, that means garbage too.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You said you vote no, or Jim Victor would vote no to
No,
not to cut no
I'm
services.
for franchising the garbage out.
Oh.
I'm for doing what's the best for the people. And what's best for the people, you all ain't, I know you all better than what it takes to make our budget work. You all will not do it. I know that. You all.
Well, Judge, I mean, I expressed in, when we did our first budget, that, I wouldn't be for cutting the fire department, the senior citizens, community
Ain't none
center.
here will.
I'm not for cutting any of those. I mean, that's what you were referring to when you
Right.
said that I wouldn't be for that, and that's exactly right. I wouldn't be for cutting the fire
I
department.
won't either.
Or the 911. I mean, how can we
We
cut
have to cut 911.
So,
What are you gonna tell people when it comes to baseball season? And we've got things like, we ain't got no insurance on, and the grass is knee high. What are you gonna tell people? You fellas are better people than sitting and vote to cut that out. And that's the kind of cut you're all talking about. Now, if you all wanna do that, you would surprise me if you do. Over a $15 garbage bill. So I think it's a moot point to look at the budget because we can look at the budget till we're blue in the face.
I think we done that in June.
We
They
did.
did in June, they had 6 months to go up.
We went through that in June.
We did it in June. You all will not do what it takes to keep garbage for this county. There ain't no way you all do it. You're all better people than that. I mean, when you're talking about not opening the pool, not having parks, not having electricity at the parks, not having nobody cut it, having the gates locked because we ain't got no insurance on them, and the fire departments, if we cut the fire department's half, it saves $50,000. Where's that gonna go on 600,000? I mean, you all just won't do it. Earl said right here, said he wouldn't do it, he ain't for it. He won't, he's a better fellow than cut all that out. I know that.
I'm not for cutting it all, but we may have to do something else.
Well, that's exactly right. We'll have to do something else. Because you boys, what I'm telling you, and this is something to tell you, that it takes too many cuts out of our budget to keep the garbage away. And you folks will not do that. Now, if y'all want to raise revenues, have at it. Make a motion to raise the occupation tax half and see how many votes.
I'm not for that either, Judge.
I vote no.
I ain't never voted for a tax, and I never will vote for a tax.
So there you go. You won't vote
I sure
to raise
won't.
revenues. You won't vote to franchise. I mean,
I mean, what tell them, Kelly, about what the state can do? We don't.
Throw us in jail, they come in and said before.
they can throw us in jail on the garbage, on the budget, but they can't throw us in jail over the garbage.
They can make us
They will
provide
do it
garbage
for us.
service at a cost, and we'll pay for it. The people of this county will pay for it. You know, we try to give you several options. I don't know what to tell you, but the options. Pick one and we'll try to work with you again. I don't mean to be redundant, but, you know, we need to do something. You all have to decide that. I don't have a vote. I wish I did. We wouldn't be here. We done had to vote and gone home. I don't care who knows how I feel, but I don't have a vote.
Yeah, I got a vote. There's one thing about it, you can't sit here and do nothing.
No.
And if you can't tell me how you want to do it, I don't know what else to do. But I think it's a moot point to meet at Linda's office and let her show you what you have to cut, but you all won't cut it.
Well, I'd like to meet and look at it and see what's there anyway. If it don't work, then we may have to do something else. I
Six
would,
months ago.
the price on the garbage is what gets me on it is the people that live on a fixed income that's real low. That's my problem with the garbage. And if everybody don't see it, that's just what I feel about it.
I'm married that. I think the answer to that is if everybody pays, it'd be lower.
I mean, in essence, we're all on fixed incomes. I mean,
Yeah, if you work
no
for
one
somebody.
wants to pay any extra. I want a fixed income too. I make the same thing I've made for the last 5 years. I don't make any
Next
more.
more higher than others though, too.
Well, that's true, but you still spend the same, you still spend. I mean, I
Exactly.
struggle to make it.
So we all spend the same, don't we?
Everybody struggles to make it. And, Joe does, I know Ronnie does, everybody out here. It's not like we're sitting here and we're all well off and got an easy street. I mean,
And again, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, but doesn't every county have universal garbage and everybody has to pay? That's all throughout the state. We're the only ones for years. People, this county been very fortunate.
You
Thank
can't
God
find
for
a county this side of Mississippi has free garbage service.
That's what, I don't know what to tell you when every other county in the state has mandatory garbage.
and there is no easy decision.
No, there's not
It's all-
an easy
It's all
decision.
hard
It's-
decisions. I mean, it
Like
really
you said a
is.
while ago, it's what's fair and what's fair to everybody.
Fair
What's
and cheap,
justice
that's
gotta
all
come
you
into
can
place.
do.
But when you say that I ain't for it because somebody's gotta pay, you're saying I would rather not have no parks, no fire department. I mean, cause that's what we're telling you, that's gotta be cut. No swim pool. We might be able to pond swim pool up on the high school. I mean, I don't understand that argument. I don't understand a garbage bill versus all this other stuff we do, how that is the best for the citizens of this county. I don't understand that, guys. I'm not the smartest fella in here,
No,
but I'm not dumb.
no, you sure ain't done.
I mean, really, guys, think what you're saying. I mean,
Well, everybody don't swim.
that's very
Don't go
true.
to the movies. Everybody's got their own thing they do, so.
But go down to one of them ballparks, John,
I
on
do,
Friday
I do.
afternoon.
I do,
Tell me people's up.
I do.
And when the gates are shut and the lights are off and there's no insurance on the property, who are they gonna be calling? Oh, we got free garbage service, but now by George, our kids can't go down there and play. I mean, if that's what you all want, that's fine
It's
with me.
Missionaries Park too, right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna hush.
And what are we gonna do? Just tell me.
We ain't gonna do nothing. Just be quite honest with you, we ain't gonna do nothing. What I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna send the papers a note that comes December 31st, we no longer have a transfer station. I'm sending all sanitation employees and those that are laid off. And then it'll be up to the state. That's all I know to do, guys. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's all I can do. I know we ain't got the money to pay for it, the second half of our budget. All
Now,
I
the
can
people
do.
I've talked to has said they wouldn't care to pay the $10, $12 a month garbage bill if we kept it, if the way it is, just the way it is. And like you said, want to go put it on a water bill or something.
I told you about Mr. Ornstein's reservations by doing that.
What's the difference in us, they're paying us and paying somebody out of the county to do it?
I just want you to be aware of it. I'm not here to argue with you, I'm just telling you what he thought the statute says.
His concern was that if a person wasn't using the service, they were still receiving a bill for it. And whenever I spoke with him, I explained that even if they don't directly use the service, even if you pay someone to pick up your garbage once a week, that person is still using that service. But he said that that is subject to an attack if someone were to sue us, because it's not a solid direct for a fee, where a fee is different.
Well, if we just
Let me
say,
ask
put
you
out all these
something
people
else.
picking it up and
You
just make
said-
that bad thing on the garbage to the dump.
Well, think about what you just said. You said keep it the way it is, $12.50 a month. You think nobody wouldn't care to pay $3 or $4 a month more than them pick it up at their house?
But you'd be paying, like the people who pay $20 a month to have somebody else pick it up, they're gonna be paying, and it's not gonna be $10 or $12, it's probably gonna be 15 or 16, the way I understand it, the way, whenever I looked at it, it's probably gonna be 15 to 16 for you to keep the transfer stations up.
What was your percentages on the people that would think about franchising it out are way higher than the people that say, no, I ain't paying nothing, I want it free. The last time I checked, if you're thinking about politics, it's 50% plus one is all you need. I mean, if it's 70-30, and I think it's probably closer to 70-30 than it is 80-20, it's probably somewhere in that long, that people would think in 6 months' time is the best thing it was. But
And it's proven, they proved that, you know, people are not going to litter if they're going to be charged anyway for somebody to come get the garbage at their house. You're not going to have somebody put it back in their truck, drive 10 miles, throw it over here. It'd be stupidity, unless it's just plain stupid.
The thing about it too, Ken, is we have it like it is now, and we still have
That's
those
what I'm
people that
saying.
drive up the hall. I
But
mean,
you
the
know,
same people that do that now
they
are
do
going to
it.
do it no
That's
matter
what
what.
yeah.
I mean, it's just the fact of the matter. I just think if you're going to charge somebody $12.50 or whatever it is, they would rather see someone coming to their door and having a service provided for those folks than to leave it like it is. Because leaving it like it is, I mean, just in my opinion, and everybody's different, doesn't really solve all the problems that we have. You're going to raise a little bit of revenue, but you're not going to solve, you know, some of these other issues that we have as far as waste.
it's $500,000 or $600,000 it's cost, it's not counting the repairs. Joe can tell you how much the repairs are on those things, man.
Garbage truck goes through like
What's a
6
truck
tires a
cost,
month.
too?
6 tires a month.
How much a tire?
You're looking at $260, $280 a tire.
Per tire?
Yeah, a bit.
Jeez. That's cheap
And the fuel.
Well, that's a state price.
The fuel is 124 gallons round trip. So So,
Almost $4 a gallon.
$346 round trip, I think. Not counting your loss of maintenance after your warranty goes out on your trucks. If a turbo goes out, you're looking at $3,500. Easy.
Gentlemen, let's do something.
Victor said what he had to say. I said what I had to say. These other boys need to do something.
What do you want to do, John?
I wanted to look to see what cuts we can make and then come back, and if we can't make cuts, then we'll have to go another round and do something.
What the rest of it?
I ain't sure.
It doesn't matter, he's not taking off his work.
I said we may look at it, but we change our mind and want to, I guess.
What do you want, Gary?
I just think it's a moot point. I mean, look at it. These guys are not gonna do that.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I thought, no, get rid of that.
Linda can tell you right here now, they will not vote for what it takes to keep garbage. I'd be highly surprised if they did.
They don't look at it. I ain't gonna sit here and argue, you know. You could have did it all right before we had to sit in the same place.
I said what I had to say. $10, $12 a month, we keep it. We just have to get rid of these people that's hauling garbage in to make it legal with the state. I can't see it, and it. We'll do concerns with it, then they wouldn't have no concerns over it. If everybody had to take it, you know, didn't have it coming in there like that.
You putting that in a motion?
No, I ain't putting it in no motion. And I'm talking about that's what we need to look at.
I'm available.
Our
Because if you want to
budget,
get out of the garbage, I mean, that's, to me, that'd be the best option.
our budget is so bare bone now that I know that ain't gonna happen. I'm not looking at it. I know. You guys are more than welcome to look at it. I know what it'll be. Ain't no sense me look at it, because I've looked at it for the last year. You know, Linda's our treasurer, she can sit down with you guys and show you all, and you're gonna say, well, I ain't gonna vote for that. Well, I gotta vote for something. So if y'all wanna sit down with her, that's fine with me. What y'all want to do, that's fine with me. I don't need to look at, maybe you offered me 3 at a time, 3 and 2, and you wouldn't have to advertise.
That'd be the only way.
Well, I can meet with either one of these boys. Victor, I can go with Victor whatever time he wants to go.
I've looked at it, John.
You looked at it?
I've got a copy of the budget.
Well, I can go with Ren or Darryl, I can have a, which one wants to go with? Huh?
It don't matter then. We'll meet anytime.
I'm just saying, John, I still think the best route. I wouldn't care to meet with you.
I know what you're saying, but I think, when I said about the people, keep it, and leave all of them, it's all of them, you know, we make it legal with the state.
That option might pay us.
That's all the way.
15 and a quarter, what it takes, sometimes.
Now, think about that, 15 and a quarter, if you leave it like it is. You could probably, you may even get a franchise for that amount. Come pick it up at your house. I don't understand that.
I understand what you're saying, but you may stick on go, well, I don't know where you may, somebody may have come about the people or something. The people they don't trust us. They really have
Show
no
'em,
faith
you know,
in there.
This is a perfect opportunity to show them that we can be transparent, but doing what's right. We have a perfect opportunity to do what the rest of the state.
If we franchise it
What's
out, you take us out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And
you're
that-
getting out of
and
the
they're
garbage
dealing with
business.
them.
Except for the fact that you've got
We
the
still
dominating factor that
negotiate, we
you
still
say, no,
negotiate
you
that
can't raise that.
contract.
Right,
But we're not making decisions, you know,
right.
saying, oh,
But-
buddy, don't worry about that $15.
But here we are, we're talking about what we're gonna do, and we don't know what, if they're gonna agree to keep those contractors in, or they wanna take them all out, or not, we don't know what they're gonna want. How can we sit here and pass something, to franchise something out, and we don't know if they're gonna, we might be wasting no time by doing
A
that.
franchise means that everybody would pay a fee to somebody that we granted a franchise to come and get.
Yeah, I know that, but we always throwing out this $15.25. They might come in and say, well, we'll do it for $12.
What Kelly said, Kelly
That's
said what we need.
what I'm saying, that we could
What
enter
the
into
county would have
negotiations.
everybody have to
with
pay
everybody.
right now to keep the transfer station up. Is that not what you just said, Kelly? Am I missing something? Didn't he say that's what it would cost per household to get enough money? To leave it like it is. That's what I'm saying. You know, we don't know what it would cost a franchise to come and get a garbage at your home.
But if we make a motion for franchise, then we got to do it.
You can reserve the right, I think, to reject any and all bids, couldn't you?
Right.
So,
We're still in control. I mean, I'm not saying we take our control away.
I don't know, he just told us 15 a quarter, just leave it like it is. Is that you right?
Yeah, that's just,
Okay. Leave it like it is.
I mean, I know, I understand what you're saying about the effort.
That's what I'm saying, I think it'd be cheap. You know,
If
you
you
should
come
have the
get it.
option. You know, I don't know what they're gonna say, nobody.
I think they're just.
But guess
scared
what,
that-
you don't have to take it.
I know, I think people are just scared that they come in here and they're raising every year, every 2
They have to
years,
come
or
in,
whatever.
you are the negotiator.
That's why we have the final say,
Yes,
right?
you do it a couple of years, then you, with an option, the way they do it in Johnson County, I think it's 2 years at Kelly, an option to do 2 more, but they have to get approval from the fiscal court to raise it. They could walk away, but guess what? Then we could have a right to franchise it to someone else. Like you said, Apple Valley's been there 25 years, they must be making good money, or they wouldn't be there.
It's $12 or something.
And $12.75 a month.
When will you be here?
I don't understand.
We got more in Saturday.
get your garbage.
First of all, it's much.
Those kind of do it.
Monday, Tuesday, meet after we meet with them. Lena, how's Monday be for you?
What time?
Whatever time you say. Me and Drink meet with you first, and then they can come in after we leave.
Be best if I get together with
We can't
Okay.
do that.
Yeah, we can Monday.
If you give enough time, you could, you give notice tomorrow, you
You have
could.
a court meeting Monday evening?
Yeah,
Let's do that.
fine, me.
I can't be here, Judge, that's the only
Well,
thing.
you said you done looked at it.
You done told us what you would recommend anyway, didn't you?
I mean, I made the motion that I felt was
That's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
best,
It ain't
In
gonna
my
change,
opinion-
is it Monday?
you know.
We have Wi-Fi available in this building.
It's very slow.
I started to say, I can run equipment and log on to the office if I can get Wi-Fi here or any other.
Can we have it in your conference room at your office?
Yeah, but can you have a public court meeting there?
Huh?
Can you have a public court meeting
Yeah,
there?
they used to go out in district and have you.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome.
But
My
the
office,
Warfield, could you
4:30.
you. Have them on the school ground.
That charges.
I don't blame it, I don't blame it.
Did you bring gravel?
Charge.
Yeah, did you bring
I
gravel?
thought we was on this one.
Let's do something, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Court meeting, we can all go up
What time you
with,
having?
What
but
time?
Victor, he'll be gone.
What
What time you wanna do it? Get a motion on, vote,
Well,
let's
let's
go.
see, we got, 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all can be there anytime during the day, can't you?
Yeah.
You pick it, I'll be there.
Let's say,
Anytime.
I
uh,
think Linda requested after 4:30.
Who?
Linda,
4:30.
Oh,
I'd give her time to do some research.
As a courtesy to the person who will be hosting it.
Yes, I'd do it. Thank you.
Or could you do it Tuesday morning?
God, I got court by Tuesday morning. You
I
don't
can
believe
do
what I
Tuesday
know.
morning.
Lynette can do it, and I'll do it afternoon. You pick
Can you
whatever's
do
convenient.
Tuesday morning,
I
Barry, you
think
can?
so, I think I'm clear.
10 o'clock? Tuesday morning.
That'd be good.
At Lynn, at your office?
Don, do you know if I have anything Tuesday?
I've got 15,
You have to be
16,
there by a
over here.
certain time for a meeting.
I'm fine, I gotta be there by 5 o'clock. I gotta be late at 5 o'clock, so I can do Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock.
Is that fine with everybody? Get a motion, vote, let's go.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Vote.
Motion to pay the bills, including Thurman's $200 in governmental expenses.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion appropriation transfer list.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in
Also, you
favor?
have in there.
We have a cash transfer.
You had something, comment from Linda.
See what now?
Also, they have in their packets, a complete, report of receipts and disbursements for the calendar year, fiscal year 14, and my settlement.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, did we think we take a vote on having the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did-
No, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Tuesday morning.